Welcome back, timing folks. Thank you so much for joining. Rashid here. Okay, in this video, we will look into the new topic that we have is this one: systematic, non-systematic, and their splits. But before that, I want to give you a very brief overview of what we have covered so far. So we are studying a research paper, um, and first in a section, the main thing was okay, STA is not enough. Okay, it's still an important critical piece of it, but we need to uh, get into SSTA, as STA can sometimes maybe too pessimistic or can also become optimistic in certain ways, and we will look more detailed into that later on. But the need for SSTA, that was the heading of the first section, or the core message. Then paper discusses different variations, and the variation it talks about, as the focus there is the process variation. And some other variation that I mentioned we can address with uncertainty or our deterministically with the different corners that we create. But process variation is really the topic of SSTA. It's really addressing the process variation, and that's where this is statistical. The rest is deterministic. Okay, that's the message. Then we talked about the 4-step variation pipeline, if you remember. Process variation, change physical parameters, which change electrical parameters, which change delay and slew. Okay, and then we also within that discussed that sometime change in one physical parameter can have multiple electrical parameters variations, and similarly we can have one process changing multiple physical parameters. One thing came from that one was, okay, ideally we should use the process steps or process equipment as our random variables. But the thing is, there are thousands of those steps and different factors related to equipment and all that can change. And mathematically, that's just not possible. So the general approach is we take the physical parameter, which was critical dimension, length, width, threshold, voltage threshold, those things, or width and the height of the metals. Those things are the physical parameters, and then electrical parameters are threshold, current, resistance, capacitance, and all that. Okay, so we decided to take physical parameter as random variable. Okay, it can be correlated or it can be independent, but that's where we finished the discussion last time. Okay, so paper introduces a nice picture there, and I kind of recreated that here myself. So the random variable or random variables of physical parameters, they can be systematic or they can be non-systematic. I call this a quote unquote random. Okay, systematic ones are those which we can, even based on the layout, we can predict their variations. We can do extraction on those corners, and we can do timing on those corners. This part random is further divided into two. These are the variations that we cannot predict or we cannot see from the layout right away. They are the ones that come during manufacturing. And those are further split into die to die and within die. Die to die means one transistor, the same transistor, if we manufacture, in the entire die, it will have a similar parameters. Those physical parameters will be very identical. If they change, for one transistor, for other transistor, it's going to change in the same way. Okay, so entire die is one, but then there's difference between die to die. And again, those are modeled in global corners, SS, FF, typical, blah, blah, all those different corners we have that you guys are familiar with. Within die, we have two components. One, keep in mind, this is the randoms, non-systematic. One is where we have some sort of correlation, some sort of neighborhood If they are very close to each other, that means they will experience similar variation. But there is also a component which is completely random. Okay, and that is this one. And that is the topic of SSTA. This one is AOCV rates that we will also look into based on distance, path, depth, and all that. Okay, previously we used to have a global corners versus fixed D rates. And then we figured out this out. We said, okay, we will apply AOCV D rates, changing D rates based on depth and distance. Okay, but this component is becoming more and more, and statistical analysis techniques are applicable to this component. Okay, again, I have more detail on this, a lot more details, but basic message is the same thing that I described you here. But I'll go through some of the details, and don't get scared. I see it's too much text on this slide. Okay, so again, first one is systematic variation. You have a layout. Okay, once you have a layout, you can feel, for example, this example I gave, and I forgot to do the picture on it. Chemical mechanical polishing. So what happens is once you etch some areas, right? Okay, give me a little bit time. So once you etch these things, right? This is where we will grow metal. Okay, and this is it, and then we have a larger metal here, or maybe no metal. Okay, so what we do then is which one I should use? Maybe this one. Is this good or not good? Maybe a little bit less. Okay. So if I come and then we put all the metal in, okay, so this is kind of filled with metal, and the top surface this is filled with metal. I will take more time to fill this. Okay, we fill this, and we overfill things, right? So we have this overfilling, and then after that we do a polishing of this, so that we want to keep a flat, we kind of remove this. Okay, there is we do a grinding like this. The equipment that really kind of it wipes that extra metal there, and oops, there and there, and what happens is, since the equipment sometimes may create some, because it's grinding extra, right? So when there is a large metal, it might create this dishing type of thing. So you can see here it's fine, smaller metal together, but here you have an area long, wider metal, and it kind of took more. Now these things, based on the layout, how close or far these are, during the extraction, the effect of some of these can be turned into resistance and capacitance variations. Okay, if you know in the chips that you're closing timing on, they have different interconnect corners. Resistance is this, capacitance is this, worse, best, and blah blah. There could be many, right? And that's why typically you have to, besides temperature, even for the process corner, you have to create different specs. Okay, so this component of systematic variations, I would call them, these are predictable distortions based on layout. Okay, if you don't have a layout, of course you don't know, but once you have a layout, okay, it can be predicted. It means the metal thickness, variation in the width of it, and those will translate into resistance and capacitance. So again, this systematic component you can model once you have a layout. Okay, no problem from statistical side. The non-systematic side comes. This is kind of a true chaos. Okay, this is independent. This is exactly what we are trying to catch. But even within that, we can have a die. One die experiences one. Die is kind of slow, another die is a little faster. Okay, the example I pulled was, okay, you have multiple wafers in a lot. Okay, when wafer 1 was being processed, the etching chamber was clean. We started fresh in the morning. Okay, wafer number 25, we already did a lot of work in it, and now that chamber is not as clean. It has some material accumulated, and its etching won't be as clean or as faster, right? So those type of variation can be from one wafer to another wafer, or one die to another die, and then they can change critical dimension, threshold voltage. Okay, and again, this one we model this with different dies. Okay, one we pick super slow, we pick a super fast, and within super slow we expect that, okay, all the transistors vary with the similar, all of them are slow or all of them are fast. You understand what I mean? Okay, so again, this is what not a problem we are already modeling in the traditional STA. Then comes this non-systematic, has a component which okay, within the die. These changes, these shifts, these affect entire chip. I don't know, that's equally kind of big confusing. But I mean, these shifts affecting component, oops. All right, you understand that? For example, I tried to pull some example there. Plasma etching. You have a dense logic in one place and you have empty region. The dense area has a lot more transistors. Let's say we are using etching for the transistor layers. It's the length, the oxide thickness, and all that. Okay, the area which is dense, which has a lot more devices in it, it tries to absorb that gas of etching plasma a lot more. While you have an area 1 millimeter away where you don't have that many transistors, it has a plenty of supply there. Okay, so in one area you have a shortage because a lot of devices need that, and another one you have plenty. So the two will have a slightly different variation, and that is called kind of neighborhood variations or localized variations. It's within the die, the same type of device, exactly same weight, exactly same length, same oxide thickness, but the two turn out different once we have chips manufacturers. Okay, but this is where we can understand, okay, they are close. If the two devices are closer to each other, we don't apply as much D-rates because they are similar. But the devices which are sitting further from each other, they tend to have different variations. So we try to apply bigger D-rates. Those are AOCV D-rate. Okay, then comes the pure random. This is pure dice rolls. You don't know, or so far at the moment you don't know, because think of that ion implantation where you are trying to change the behavior of the channel, and you're trying to adjust the threshold voltage. Different impurity atoms, different amount of impurity atoms will have slightly different threshold voltages because they will have a different, those carriers that you want to bring and create a strong inversion for threshold voltage. Okay, and that is pure random. You bombard them with boron or arsenic or whatever impurity atoms you have. One device might have 40 atoms, another 45 atoms. Okay, very hard to control at that level. And the other example is line edge roughness. The edge of the line, in all my pictures you've seen, is a very straight line. I mean, eventually those are the atoms there. It cannot be a straight line. Okay, one place will have a little more atom, another less. So the surfaces or the boundaries are not as clean as you think, as you see in the layout. Okay, and that is a pure random. So these are the pure random things which are the topic of SSTA. Okay, that's it for now. I will see you pretty soon. Take care. Bye.